And we say good morning to you. We're broadcasting live on the road today. We are at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on a overcast, and it is overcast and cloudy, overcast day. And again, the blue skies making the trees, what's left of them, really jump out as far as color. So that's where we are today, broadcasting live again on the road at Chick-fil-A here in Elizabethton. Show number 1,727 is the countdown on the show. Thank you for being with us. Coming up on the show, going to be joined by Mark Newman, the cross-country coach at Elizabethton High School. Big news from the land of the Cyclones in the cross country. We're very excited about that. We'll tell you all about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Also going to be joined by Bill Robinson, head basketball coach at Milligan University. Opening night is tomorrow night for the Buffaloes. Also, Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. Sean Whitten, head football coach of the Cyclones, going to stop by. And a first-time guest, Stephen Harden, the head basketball coach at Lees McRae. All that and a whole lot more as we're here live again on this Wednesday. Again, October the 26th, final Wednesday of the month. Birthdays today. Jacqueline Smith from Charlie's Angels. Remember Charlie's Angels? She's 77 today. Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak having a birthday. Pat Sajak is 76 years old today. Pat Sajak is 76. And then anybody else? Let's see. Keith Urban, the country music singer, having a birthday. Double Nichols, he's 55. And those are the birthdays again on this Wednesday. The countdowns. Countdown to Thanksgiving, 29 days. And a countdown to Christmas, right, even 60 days from today. Now, the verse today, we always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. And so on both Facebook and YouTube today, as always, here we go. Psalms 33:21 says, "For in him does our heart rejoice because we have trusted, relied on, and been confident in his holy name." Whew, that's good stuff there, folks. Psalms 33:21 again says, "For in him does our heart rejoice because we've trusted, relied on, and been confident in his holy name." How about that? That's the verse today, Psalms 33:21. And again, we unashamedly dedicate the show to the man who hung on the cross. Just that simple. We will not ever back down from that. All right, here we go. Kingdom Air's national anthem. Then coming up, our first guest, Mark Newman. Very successful year, to say the least. They've punched their ticket to the state for the first time in a long time. We'll let him tell you all about that and who are the kids going. All that coming up on our first guest next year. But first, the Kingdom Airs on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
1, 2. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, our first guest. Hello, Jimmy Ritchie, listening from Lubbock, Texas. Jimmy, I to get you your stuff. I have full intention of mailing you a Tom Taylor care package, and I apologize I've not done that. That will happen. Thank you, sir. And watching in Lubbock, Texas. What's Lubbock? Is that Texas Tech, the Red Raiders? Is that their hometown? I think. I think so. Never been to Texas. It'd be a good place to go sometime. Hello, Jimmy. Thank you, sir, very, very much for watching the show. We are live here again. We're on the road. We are here at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. By the way, the phone number is 297-1266 is the number to call. Phone's been ringing off the hook. Folks ordering trays. I told you the countdown. We're at 29 days to Thanksgiving. But before we even get to that, if you're going to watch the football game Saturday night, Tennessee and Kentucky, or anything else going on, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, Clemson, North Carolina State, any of those games, or you want to come tomorrow night, grab something on the way, a tray to bring to the ball game tomorrow night, Seymour and the Cyclones, 297-1266 is the number to call, and they'll take care of that for you. So he's here. Got to get him on. I told him we want to promote cross country as much as we can, and we have the best of our ability, and for good reason. The Elizabethton cross country team made history yesterday. First off, good morning. Congratulations.
Thank you there, Tom.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, hard work. Here's a man took a program that needed a little jump start, and so he jump started. Had a great foundation, great base, no question, but we want to elevate a little bit, and you did. And so you have, and the proof's in the pudding from yesterday. Tell everybody what happened.
Well, yesterday we qualified both our guys and girls team. It's been since 2005 that both teams have qualified for the state together.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's awesome.
It is awesome. So folks like Jimmy Ritchie in Lubbock, Texas wouldn't know that. That's why we bring folks on to talk about things like this. So, again, the first time since 2005, the guys and the girls are both going to the state cross country meet. Guys went last year, right?
Guys went last year, yes.
Yep. So
Yeah.
just throw those names out there. Start with the girls.
Man alive. Well, we're looking at right now for our girls team. We've got Helen Hackett, J.C. Hyatt, Grace Arts, Brennan Vance, Amberlyn Grindstaff, and Maggie Howland. Those are the ones they stepped up. They far exceeded expectations yesterday. It's just amazing.
For folks who don't know about cross country, kind of tell us, you don't run on the street. Folks think you run on the street. No, you run through the woods. It's cross country in the literal sense. So how far do they run? And tell me a little bit about how that goes for folks that don't know.
They run a 5K, 3.1 miles, and it's through the woods. It's through the stumps and roots and holes and everything that you can have out on the course. You try to fill them up, but it's not always possible. So they just get out there. It can be on gravel. It can be on of course, grass and packed dirt. I mean, all courses are change over the courses that you do run.
Yeah. Where was it yesterday?
It was at Daniel Boone High School.
Daniel Boone High School in Gray.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Girls went. Guys did too. Tell us who the guys are.
went. We have Max Garner, Riley Vernon, Jerry Behrman, Brian Presley, CJ. We call him CJ, but Cooper Jack, CC, which is Cooper Chenault, and William Snodgrass. Those are the top 7 right there for the guys team, and they towed it up and lined up and went at it.
Yep. So were you expected, or were you the favorite to win?
No, I mean it was a toss up between Volunteer and Sullivan East. I mean it's one of those things you can just put in a basket and start shaking up and see who comes out.
Yeah. Toe the line, gun goes off we go through the woods running. So what makes, I know this is a goofy question because he's run all his life and he's the coach. By the way, he is the coach of the year, correct?
For the guys, yes.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Now, he's not a full-time, his full-time work is a youth pastor, youth minister at Calvary Baptist Church across from T.A. Duggar. So that is his full-time gig, but he does this and has a great passion for it. I know this is going to be goofy. I've asked Lucas Andrews, Lucas Honeycutt what makes a good basketball player. I've asked Sean what makes a good football player.
Yeah.
What makes a good cross-country runner?
Desire.
Yeah.
Desire and commitment. Those are the 2 biggest things that you can do.
Got to have the burn.
You got to have it. If you don't have the passion, you got to love it. If you don't love it, you're going to hate it.
Yeah. And you're out there running in the woods by yourself, and
Yeah.
you got to pretty much challenge yourself going, okay, I got to do this. There's nobody out there cheering unless there's squirrels and rabbits or groundhogs or
We'll
whomever.
give them signs next week.
Yeah, there you go. But really and truly, that's the way it is. I mean, you gotta get up on a Friday morning in February and it's 15 degrees outside. You gotta go run, get your work in.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody pushing. You got to push yourself, right?
That's exactly right. It's an inward desire and a self-motivation.
Yeah. So qualify for the state. Where do we go next? When and where?
We will be going to Stewart's Creek, or Stewart's Ferry Park in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Hendersonville.
Yes, sir.
Metro Nashville, basically. Yep. So that'll be when?
That'll be next Thursday, where the girls will run at 1 p.m. and the guys will run at 2:40 p.m.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So we're going to run down who the other teams are too. This is the double A and double A and single A girls and guys. Who are the other teams? The guys.
We have Volunteer and Sullivan East, and Tennessee High for the guys.
Yeah. So you got 4 guys teams going.
4 guys teams going. Yes.
That tells you how good cross country is in the Tri-Cities, folks. On the girls' side, who's going besides us?
We've got Tennessee High, Volunteer, and Gatlinburg Pittman.
Yeah. So there you go. 3 out of the 4 teams going on this neck of the woods are from the Tri-Cities. So it's good stuff. And who is the daddy rabbit out there as far as
Signal Mountain.
Signal Mountain?
Signal Mountain,
Yeah.
Chattanooga.
Now, we had the reclassification last week. And
Yes.
to me, it's a quagmire. It always is, because I'm a dumb old country boy, and I don't get everybody moving up, moving down. Cross country, was there any changes?
There was. There's actually a couple of teams that were the AAA that dropped down for next year to us. And so it's going to really put a kink in some things, because you're looking at 198 schools in AAA next year and only 98 in AAA. So it's crazy. It's crazy to look at that and see that, but you just got to go with what you got.
198
Yeah.
in single A, double A, and 98 in triple A?
Do the math.
Somebody's calculated out the triple A, the batteries went dead on it. That don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Who's coming down? Who's dropping down?
I know David Crockett's coming down, and I think there's one other. I couldn't remember seeing the school, but I know that David Crockett's coming down. They've got a pretty good girls program as well, so that's going to put the girls program, the division, in a tighter race next year.
Well, and so when I say they're coming down because of enrollment.
Enrollment, yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
It's not.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to do it anymore. It's based on. Now, is enrollment based on boys and girls combined, or just guys?
Just the enrollment of the school,
Of the
the
school
student
total.
body, yeah,
Okay.
the student body.
So it used to be based on how many guys go to that school or girls, and now it's just the total school enrollment.
Yeah, total enrollment.
So basically, Crockett's dropping, and so as a result of that, they're coming down, and so that their girls program will be at a kink, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
It'll add a little bit more of a competition, which is okay. You always want good competition,
Yeah.
because it only makes you better.
Absolutely. So you race next Thursday, a week from tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Do they have any time off? Or
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Time to go back to work. Time
Go
to
back
clock
work.
in.
Yep, clock in. So
The time they'll get off will be after next Thursday.
after next Thursday. Yeah. Enjoy your downtime, and then right after Christmas, we crank back up for spring track season.
Well, we'll start
A
up
lot
a
of
little
those
bit
kids will
before
run.
track in December.
A lot of those kids will run track for you, right?
Right, yep.
Yeah. So it's virtually a year-round endeavor, and so we're very proud of this gentleman. He is the boys regional
Yes.
coach of the year.
Coach of the year. Yes.
So Region 1,
Region 1. Yes.
which encompasses how many schools? A bunch
Quite a few.
from
yes.
here down to Knoxville.
From here down to Knoxville. We
Yeah.
probably had about 20 plus schools running yesterday, and that was just that probably scored as a team. Then you have individuals that are there from those schools.
Yeah.
So
folks, you can take comfort in knowing this man is a rock solid Christian husband and a daddy and a mentor and a coach and a youth pastor. So, and he's also now the Region 1 cross country coach of the year. Is this the first time you won it?
actually, it's the second time I won it for the girls back in 2016.
There you go. So this is old hat for him. It's no big deal. Tom, I've won it. Well, it's my second time. No, he's not like that at all. He understands. I mean, what an honor. So,
Very honored.
yeah. Now, the Tia Duggar program coming up. Got some kids coming.
We got some kids coming up for girls and for our guys. But for the girls, that's a good side.
So the program is building and growing.
It's building. It's growing. I had a coach yesterday come up to me and says, "Man, I love seeing that your program's growing. It's exciting."
It is exciting.
And so when you start seeing that and you start having a good feeder program, again, that just breeds success.
Give props to the cross country coaches at the Tia Duggar.
Exactly.
Who are they?
That's Janie White, and I cannot remember her assistant. I apologize for that.
Betty Jones. I don't know.
It's a fella, so
Yeah.
it won't be Betty
Oh, it's a guy?
Jones. Yeah, it's a guy.
It's Bobby Jones. Yeah. So anyway.
Of course, I got to give props to Ellie Phillips, too, my assistant coach up here at the high school. So
Absolutely. It's a team effort.
it is.
So you'll come back, report to us, and we've got 4 teams going from Northeast Tennessee, both boys and girls. And for the first time since 2005, which is 17 years, Elizabethton's guys and girls cross country is heading to the state cross country meet.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's
It's
crazy,
awesome.
crazy. Crazy.
It's great.
That's all I could say
I love it.
yesterday.
Yeah, the proof's in the pudding. Hard work pays off.
It does.
I tell my girls all the time, the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
That's
the only
exactly
place.
right.
Yeah,
That's the only place.
that's it. What's your verse you live by, my friend?
Hebrews 12, 1 through 3.
Let it rip.
Let it rip. You just caught me off guard, man.
Hebrews 12, 1 through 3.
It just talks about where we are run the race.
Yeah.
We are with a cloud of witnesses, and we just go out and be that witness for Jesus Christ.
Amen, brother. Amen. That's what it's all about. And on this show, you're going to hear about it unashamedly. We talk about the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. The fact that I could even be sitting here today, I could get up out of the bed, walk to my car, drive over here, have the motor skills to do that. There's some who can't do that. You think you're having a crummy day, look around for the blessings. I promise you there's blessings. I know a person right now has had a stroke that he wouldn't be able to sit and eat a chicken sandwich. He can't even eat macaroni and cheese because he's having a hard time swallowing. So you take that for granted. Everything we
do, yeah.
So there's a lady I find amazing. I don't even know who she is. Every Sunday when I'm driving to church, she's down on the street that runs in front of the Twins ball, not the Twins, but the River Riders, O'Brien Field. And she's blind.
Yeah.
And she has a little dog. She has a little stick, and she's walking. And I'm thinking, how does she do that? How does she go down the street in a pub on the sidewalk with that little walk? I mean, I am way amazed and impressed. I'm thinking, you know what? There's a champion. Do we know the lady? I have no clue she is, but she's a champion because she is not going to let the fact she can't see slow her down.
No.
So we have lots to be thankful for.
We do.
Yeah. And so I know you all out there go, okay, all right already, but it's the truth. We take things for granted, everything.
Especially the breath of life.
Oh, absolutely.
Huge.
My daddy used to say, and he was right, he said, boys, all 4 boys, he'd say, you're a heartbeat away from eternity. That thing stops one time. You ain't got a choice, you're gone. There you go. Congratulations, sir.
Appreciate it, Tom.
Get yourself something good to eat.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks, sir.
him more as a Christian man than I do as a coach, but he's a pretty good coach, too. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here. We're on the road. We're at Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth. Tomorrow, the Jewelers Bench. Friday will be at Food City Friday. But first, this from one of our great sponsors, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We'll come back and take a look at, got lots to talk about. Some college football next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
We are not okay with the staggering statistics of our youth. They have become familiar with brokenness, pain, and frustration. But their pain has become our concern, and their hopes, our responsibility. But we want to see the world transformed by Jesus Christ through the influence of coaches and athletes. Our mission is to lead every coach and athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus and His church. But what can you do about it? What if your actions now can help the future them? Together, we can help them become who God has designed them to be. But the time is now, and the action we take today helps them tomorrow.
At Northeast Community Credit Union, we know the importance of taking care of your family and building our community. Are you remodeling your home, trading cars for your next road trip, or maybe you're considering an in-ground pool or a boat for the lake? Our loans are easy, fast, and convenient with the lowest payments around. Act now before rates go up. Apply online at bmycu.org, call us, or come see us in Elizabethton, Johnson City, or Rome Mountain. We have the loan you need.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look who stopped by. Guest number 2. I feel like a doctor. I love it. Dr. Taylor's in the house. And so, guest number 2, Coach Bill Robinson, Milligan University men's basketball. Of course, the high school starts practice officially on Halloween, and then the season starts later in November. But not for the Buffs. They start tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I actually had lunch with John Dyer yesterday. We got talking about X's and O's, and he's excited about getting started on Monday. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
at Westridge.
at Westridge,
Yeah. What a miracle. What a success story. I mean, folks know about his illness and what he went through, and there's a
he
point
was-
where he couldn't walk, and now he's back coaching.
Yeah,
and
he was coaching with me that year. He
Yeah.
he took that gap year and helped us out, and the Lord had it all planned. He hadn't missed a practice in forever, 30 years, and then he gets sick the year he's with me, and it just it connected us in a way that I got a great friend out of the whole year.
Absolutely.
So,
It's
not
all
that we
about-
weren't friends before, but we got a lot closer.
all about relationships.
It's all about relationships.
Talk about your team again. You're starting tomorrow night. Who you playing? Who you open up with?
Up at University of Cumberland's, they've been in national tournament 6 straight years, and they're better this year than they were last year. They're just loaded, so it's a great test for us early in the year on the road, playing a national tournament type team. So I really like our squad. I think we're better. We're still hurt. I think we got 3 guys that would start that are all out right now. 2 with injuries and then 1 who's got an academic issue. But Sami Sinai got hurt last night in practice.
No.
Down with a bad ankle sprain. He'll be back by probably by our first conference game. He should be back. But Jackson Gabriel's out with a reconstructed ankle surgery in the summer, and he'll be out till probably January. But really excited about the rest of the group. We're playing really well, playing hard. The spirit's a lot better. Everybody's excited about the season. Everybody's excited about being together. So that's a big part of it. It's just when they believe that they can win, they believe they're playing well together, anything can happen.
Absolutely. Inch by inch, anything's a cinch. You got it. Who's your starting 5 tomorrow night?
Good question. We're not even sure. I mean, we thought for sure Sami would be there. Finn McClure's our point guard, and he's from Wellington, New Zealand, and Sam Gold, another New Zealand kid. Both of them will definitely start. Other than that, we're still pretty much up in the air. Levante Knox could be, Drew Green, Flynn Carlson, Lincoln Tommy. There's a lot of different options right now, but we feel like our top 7 or 8 are set. It's just a matter of what we feel like is best for the team that we're playing that night.
Preseason in the conference, where are you rated?
We're 10th, and that's based on last year's team that we had so many injuries. We played 1 game with everybody healthy, and it was the very first game of the year. So I don't really care about that. Hopefully the guys will be motivated by that and understand it's a new year, new team, and everything's wide open.
It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Where we finish, exactly.
So who is the top dog this year, preseason?
It's Union again. They've won it 8 or 9 straight years, and that's about all I want to say about them, I guess. I don't know. Kevin's he's a friend, and he's a good, great coach,
Yeah.
and they do things a little bit different.
Do
up
things
there.
differently at Union, you got it. But we don't do things differently at Milligan. We do it with the right way.
Yeah, I mean, our philosophy is just different, and we need to find kids who want to be at a Christian college, who can make it academically. It's hard. Milligan's a lot harder than everybody else in our league. And then kids that can win games, but we do it in that way. And people are more important than program. Program's more important than winning. Winning's important. We want to win, but we're not going to sacrifice our program. We're not going to sacrifice our kids to win.
How do you get kids from New Zealand to Milligan University?
It's all about relationships. We talked about earlier. I had a connection there, and Damon Stevenson had coached over in Australia for a long time and got connections in New Zealand and Australia, and had a AAU team that came over to America, played in Los Angeles and Las Vegas one summer, and Finn McClure was the point guard on that team, and he said, you need to get this kid, so I did. And he told me that day, he said, if you get one, you'll get others. And Pierre P. Corinth is with us, and then Sam Gold joined us this year. And I joked with Finn, I said, they keep getting better. Every time we get somebody from New Zealand, we get somebody better. So really excited about those 3 guys and the future. They all have 3 years of eligibility left. So they'll be the staple for our team for a long time.
How many home games you got this year?
We've only got 11 home games.
Yeah. So we're going to be streaming some of those, and we're excited about that. And the Lady Bus of Kylie Greer. So we're going to be, and some of those are double hitters, some of those aren't. But again, we'll be streaming those on the Milligan. This year we got to do the Milligan Facebook page and website, and so we'll let you know here when you can go over there and watch it. But it's a fun atmosphere at Steve Lacy Fieldhouse. We got the dance team, the cheerleaders, got the drum line. So it has been, you guys have created a pretty raucous environment, pretty tough for those teams to come in and play.
It's the best atmosphere in our league by far. And Tori Ryan does a great job with cheer and dance, and it's just it's an atmosphere unlike anybody else that we will see anywhere, even in Division I games. It's right up there with the Austin Peays and the Mercers. It's a lot of fun.
Your non-conference schedule, you got some D1 teams you're playing?
Yeah, we actually play UNC Asheville next Tuesday, an exhibition game for both of us, and then a couple weeks we have a weekend trip where we play Mercer on Friday and play Austin Peay on Monday. So that will be the end of our Division I games, and then Cumberland's and the 2 games in Hawaii. That's our entire non-conference schedule now. So
I want you to feel sorry for him. I do. I didn't get the invite either. You want to fly to Hawaii and call games? I didn't get that invite, but they're going to Hawaii over Christmas, right?
We are. And Hawaii Hilo's hosting a tournament. We're playing 2 days over there, and we're spending every weekend right now and every opportunity we can raising money. So we worked the race, we worked the Country Thunder concert series, and this Saturday will be our 4th UT football game, including the Alabama game where security, that was us, could not keep the fans off the field.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was tough. There's nothing we could have done that night, but
No.
what an experience. That was a lot of fun, too.
Do you work in security, really?
Oh, yeah. We were in the stands, and we were told to keep people off the field. And after about 30 seconds,
Nah.
there's nothing we could have done.
No.
So Willie, my son, actually got a Bleacher Report while we're standing there saying security unable to keep fans off the field. He just looked at me and says, "That's us."
That's us.
Yeah, that was us.
We're
But,
toast.
Yeah, there's nothing we could have done, but it was great.
$100,000 fine UT had to pay.
And it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely worth every penny.
Apparently he doesn't like Alabama. So
Well, I mean,
it is
when
what it
in
is.
Rome,
It is
right?
what it
Gotta
is.
root for it.
Yeah. So can they beat Kentucky Saturday?
I think so. We'll be there. I'm looking forward to seeing. We don't get to see a lot of the game where we are, but we're up in the terraced area, so. But we get to see bits and pieces, and the way they're playing right now, I don't see anybody beating. I don't think anybody can stop them. They can't stop anybody either, but I just don't see anybody being able to.
It's a track meet every
It
game.
is.
It's going to be 38-37 every game.
Yep.
So
And it's fun to watch. Fans love it.
they can't stop anybody, and
Nope.
nobody can stop Tennessee.
Exactly.
Last man standing.
Right.
Yep. All right, so we'll be streaming some games coming up on the Milligan Facebook page, but tomorrow night, University of Cumberland, that is in Kentucky, is that right?
Yep, up in Williamsburg, Kentucky,
Yeah.
just across the line. It's not a bad trip, really.
Yeah.
Get to Knoxville, go north, and it's just across the state line. It's a beautiful, between Knoxville and that Kentucky line is just
Gorgeous.
this time of year. The leaves are just unbelievable. And it's a neat drive, easy drive.
Used to be in vans, now we're going Greyhounds, aren't we?
We're going charter everything.
I love it.
And my new AD, Christian Pope, he's made the commitment to make sure that we're safe.
Yeah.
And that we're not driving, coaches aren't driving, that they, God forbid the players aren't driving. It's like we used to do when I was in college. So he's committed to that. He's raised the money, and we're driving in style.
Get on the bus.
Yeah.
And let somebody else worry about driving.
Let's just focus about playing the game, coaching the game.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about anything
I
else.
love it. Christian Pope's a great guy. Athletic director of Milligan, doing a lot already to kind of move the needle
Sure is.
from the marketing standpoint to logistics, everything.
From his words, he wants people to look at us and say that's the way it's supposed to be done. So whether it's conference, non-conference, just the community, anything that we do, he wants it to be the top of a level of everything done.
One of the games we're going to stream, we have secured the services of a young lady by the name of Rachel Robinson, which would be
Who's that?
yeah. When first time I asked her, she'd help me do a game. Would you help me do one of your dad's games? Her lip started quivering. So I guess I said, yeah. He wants you to. Well, if he wants me to, I will. Now I asked her, and it didn't matter. But if Daddy wanted her to, she said, well, I guess I will. So there you go.
I think she's really excited about it.
She
She's
is.
nervous, but I think she's excited about it.
She'll do a great job.
Yeah, she will.
She's
She'll-
getting ready to
she'll
come
have
back here and
fun.
talk a few minutes. So
I'm looking forward to seeing her. It's the only time we get to see her anymore. We have to come to Chick-fil-A to see her. She's a busy girl.
Yeah. The verse you live by, sir. What is the verse you live by?
Galatians 2:20. I'm crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ lives through me. The life I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God who gave himself for me, loved me and gave himself for me. Basically, it means my life is no longer my life. Once I trust in Christ, it's his life. And I grew up in New Jersey, went to school in New York, got my master's in Texas, spent 12 years in North Carolina. This is 14 years in Tennessee. And I question myself every once in a while, why am I here? Well, this is where he wants me.
Yeah.
And until he wants me elsewhere, this is where we'll be.
He had a chance to go somewhere else this year, and the Lord shut the door. He texted me and said it didn't go through. I said, wasn't supposed to.
Wasn't supposed to.
You're not done here.
Nope. And I'm happy here. We're all happy here.
Absolutely.
And, kids are close, and Milligan's a wonderful place, so very happy here.
Go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
You hungry?
I am.
What do you get on the menu? Since your daughter works here, what do you get?
I go back and forth between two things, basically. I do the nuggets or just to do number one. The sandwich is so good. Why do you need anything else? I don't want anything on it. Just the way they serve it is perfect.
Yep. Have you had the Autumn Spice milkshake?
I have not.
Would you get one on me today? Are you a milkshake guy?
Oh, I love milkshakes.
Yeah, try it.
All right, we'll do.
Get an, and then just come back here and give me. I know you're gonna give me a thumbs up because it's good.
I'll try it.
Yeah. Love you, man.
Love you too. Thanks, friend.
Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here. We'll take a look at some college football. Top of the hour. We'll be joined by Greg Salyer. Sean Whitten joins us later, and the first time ever guest, Stephen Harden, the head basketball coach of the Lees McRae Bobcats, will be here later in the show as well, talking hoops. It's that time of year, folks. We're transitioning from football to basketball, and we'll talk a little college football coming up next. We'll break down the Kentucky-Tennessee game. Let's see, the Ohio State-Penn State game, the Clemson-North Carolina State game, and the Michigan-Michigan State game next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Talking to our buddy Greg Wappel. Let's talk oil changes. In, out, on your way. Tell us about getting an oil change of Valvoline Express Care.
No need for appointment. Reservation, just come in. It's a pull-through service. We're going to be here about 15 minutes. We got new customer forms out there. If you've not been here before, we're going to take your basic information, and we're going to put that car in the database right there. It's going to pull up everything Josh needs to know. We got Josh on the bottom today, so he's going to clear it, make sure everything's good before they start, and since that process starts, he's going to drop it. He's going to check all the fluids up top. He's going to air the tires up. He's going to check the wipers. He's going to reset that maintenance light, and in and out in about 15 minutes.
Yep. If you're here more than 15 minutes, there's something wrong, right?
There's something wrong. Valvoline comes in and checks us quarterly. They come in top to bottom, make sure the products where they should be, make sure the products are what they should be, and make sure we're running it. Valvoline, at the end of the day, has the top quick lube program
in the country.
In the country.
3 oil changes: conventional, semi-synthetic, max life, and full synthetic. You have 3 to choose from, right?
We got 3 to choose from. We've got everything from 0-20. We've got 0-16 now, ultra thin, and some of the new stuff's gone for that. 540, 1540, 0-30, 0-40, 530, 520, 1030. We've got those in conventional. Most of those zeros are going to be synthetic or full synthetic or synthetic blend. But if your car calls for it, we've got it.
Hours are open?
We are open 8 to 5:30 through the week, 8 to 2 on Saturday.
You're in, you're out, you're on your way here on Railroad Street in Elizabethton. Again, look for all the U-Hauls. You know you're right to the right place, the Valvoline Express Care. They don't mess around, folks. You stay in your vehicle, you pay out there, you stay if there's any questions, and, of course, you will be asked to start it back up and all that, so that aids in getting you out in a quick time. So 15 minutes or less, you're out of here, folks. I'm telling you. And the last time I had mine done, 12 minutes and 24 seconds, so they don't mess around. You're in, you're out, you're on your way. Valvoline Express Care, one of our great sponsors of Cyclone Football and Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, look who stopped by. Our head football coach, Sean Whitten, the Elizabethton Cyclones. Playoffs start next week. In it for how many consecutive years?
15 out of 16 years.
15 out of 16,
First year was the only year we didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, so I went back and ciphered on that last night. 15 out of 16 years we've been going to the playoffs and going next week. And so it all starts, we'll get into Seymour here in a second. It all starts next Friday, the road to Chattanooga. We're going to make that run, as we call it. The goal, am I correct, sir? We come out of the gate 0-3. In the last 5 games, the first 3 games, we scored a total of 7 points. Where's my area? 7 points. Well, let's do it this way. 7 points total. The last 5 games, 4 of those which we've won, 3 of those which we've won, we've averaged 46 points a game.
Well, I think that, every year is a different year. Credit to our kids. I mean, they've continued to work and continued to battle. It's high school football time. I mean, you see, you sometimes in sports you're going to succeed, come out of the gate. Sometimes teams that are wild cards or barely making playoffs, they end up, winning the Super Bowl. So I think it's how you learn from those lessons. It's how you continue to preach the messages. And I think that we've had a formula of how we've been able to win around here. We've won more playoff games than anybody over, the 15 years, and we put ourselves in a great position. But you got to have guys that continue to work and block out the noise and come to practice every day. And I feel like we're as strong and as good as we've ever been. And I think that, if you learn from your lessons, Bobby Bowden, tell the kids all the time that, the only mistake is making the same mistake. So we're learning from what we've done in the past. We've evolved. Guys are doing different things and stepping up and helping the team.
We're in a society of quitters. We know that. Everybody quits everything. Transfer portal, if you don't get my way, I'm going to transfer and go play some, take my toys, go to another sandbox. And that's what it is. That's the society in which we live. We know that. And yet this football team, to his credit and his coaching staff credit too, all of them bought in and said, look, we're 0-3. We're going to come back Monday with our lunchbox. We're going to go to work. We're going to grind it out. We're going to make a turn, make a change. And we did. I think it's a great testament, not just to football, but to life. These kids on this year's football team know there's adversity in life, and they've overcome it.
Well, I think that's the whole thing of what sports is. It's just, everybody's going to face the big A, the adversity. It's how you deal with it, how you respond. Look at, the two greatest quarterbacks of all time, Rodgers and Brady, how they're struggling. They're at the prime of their careers, and you're talking about the GOAT. And so, I just think that it's lessons for us all. There's great coaches. Look at Belichick. He's struggling. It's just, you got to find different things. You got to find different ways to win. I think, for me, you're obsessed of creating a culture that you got to find a way. And so, when you get up on top, the things we've been good at. When I was a graduate assistant at University of Tennessee, Dan Brooks was a guy that was a defensive line coach, and I kind of stuck my foot in my mouth one day. I was like, Coach, why do we do this? And just wanting to know, and just because that's the way it's always been done is not a good reason, and so you got to be obsessed with finding a different way, and that's what our guys have done. And so you've created a different style of football, so we've played for 3 state championships. We ran a 4-man front. This year we're running 3-man front. You look at where we've created shovel passes and orbit motion and jet sweeps, and how many jet sweeps you've seen in the last 3 years. So we just got to evolve, and you got to adapt. And each week we've just been trying to create a game plan that fits our kids' skill sets. And so people remind me often, my grandfather every year ran a different offense. Well, you got to fit. Sure. It's our job to put the guys in best situations to win, and so you learn. So that's what our guys have done, and when you get hurt, you get banged up, you work as hard as you can with physical therapy services to get back, and our guys have done that. And so I feel like we're as strong as we've ever been. I feel like we're ready to go. And in 2009, we went to the semifinals. Tom, we were 9-1, ended up, or 8-2, ended up being going to the semifinals against Alcoa. In 2010, we went 6-4. All right, we lost to Greenville in the regular season, Science Hill, Asheville, North Carolina, and CAK. And we ended up being back at Alcoa in the semifinals. You play tough people to make you better. And so we've played tough people, and
we're better.
We're better from it. And so credit to our kids, though. You got to have those guys. Credit to our support staff, and just show up and work hard every day. And in order to have a good program, it takes a bunch of good kids.
Taz Irwin says, awesome, Coach. Traveled to Maryville to watch former players for the second time this year. Love you, Coach. And my man, TT. Deuce is rocking at U-Pike as well. He's making reference, of course, to Bryson Rollins. 5th time now he's been named Rookie of the Week in the conference. So our kids have went to the next level and are doing very, very well. So, you've won 3 in a row. To me, the turnaround game, there's 2 of them, obviously. Anderson County losing down there, and then I thought it showed us a lot on the road how we did it, and then went down to. Folks don't understand because we didn't have a camera that night.
Right.
But you know this, and I know. We beat Ray County's a good football team. We beat
well, they are. For us to go 2-0 against them in 2 consecutive years and the style of football they play, it's a big school, it's 1,500 kids, one of the largest schools in 5A, and play a tough style of football. We've grown up. We've figured out a lot about ourselves. I'm just going to tell you, though, football is not made up of sometimes size and speed and, having they got, Trenton Taylor 6'5", 300. Well, let me tell you something. Wesley Shankles is 5'10", 195-pound inside linebacker. Does he look anything like Deuce? No, he doesn't. But it's what makes up the individual.
Absolutely.
It's just what you do. You figure out a way to win, and that's high school football. And just excited about the progress we've made and the heart the guys have. Holzer's had a big impact at inside linebacker. He's 175 pounds jumping out of the swimming pool. I mean, it's what you do. Look at the tournament Nate's had. And so it's just credit to our guys. We found some rhythm. We've continued to work, and I think that we've learned from our mistakes, continue to have great leadership, and our guys haven't stopped working. I thought last week, we've had 98% of our football team continue to work through fall break and get stronger and recover their bodies and start working and giving ourselves a chance. So ultimately we have a choice to make each and every day, and so are we going to choose to listen to the coach's path, or are we going to choose to listen to the outside noises path? And so for us is what do we do when we get there a second time? So it's sooner or later we're going to hit the ultimate test, and so we can't just wait to get there and then we're going to be ready. It's just slowly building it up to where we're at our peak.
Absolutely.
Catholic's coach reminded me one year they won back-to-back state championships in the private school league. They started out like 0-2, and they found the rhythm a little bit. And the coach just said, "Hey, we're peaking at the right time." And I think that's just where we are. We've gone through some hard times, and we're peaking at the right time. And better late than never.
So I'm in an antique store over the weekend on fall break, and I think of Sean Whitten. Why? Well, first of all, because I love the guy. I appreciate him and what he does and what he and his staff's done, and his family. Here's what it says. I think it's really cool. It says, "Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or the faster man, but sooner or later the man who wins is the man who thinks he can."
Yeah, I mean, Belichick's got the thing of, when you step off the bus, you're either 14 points up or 14 points down. I mean, you got to believe it. That's why our execution's become better. Our purpose has been better. We're driven, not necessarily by the outcome, but we're driven by the everyday work. Everyday matters, and so the work that I put in translates into the confidence that the more I do it, the better I'm going to become. That's how I operate. That's not. I mean, it's the right way, but the more times I throw a shallow crosser, the more times I'm have more confidence making that play. And so you've seen our execution become greater. You've seen our purpose become stronger. And so, it's just, it's a process of becoming a better football team and learning. And, just credit to our kids. They've battled, and, we've had our shares of up and downs. But, right now is the best time of the year, Tom, for high school football.
Yep.
Regular season is one thing. All that matters is
playoffs.
Okay, can you tell me what the score of the state championship 2 years ago? Probably can't. Can you tell me when it was in 2019? All they remember is
we won.
We won,
yeah.
And so
that's it.
That's where we're at. That's the program that we've built, where all that matters is win and losing at the end of it. Now we all got the right things, but regular season is one thing. Greenville won the conference championship last year, but where were they in the third round?
There you go.
We beat them. And so it's our
start.
job to get better, and that's sports, and that's life.
Yeah, it is life.
So I may it may take me hitting rock bottom before I decide I got to make a change.
Yeah.
And so we got to a point. Luckily, our guys have regrouped, and now we got a chance to. Thursday night's a big game, though. We got to win this, get home field advantage, get second place. And then obviously, we've won more playoff games than anybody, but playing here at the bank, first round is going to be huge for us.
Great. Before we we're going to talk about Seymour here in a second, tomorrow night's opponent. I want to get a scouting report, but I want to again ask you, say hello to, I want to say hello. He said, I want to be sure and say hello. He's watching Jimmy Ritchie in Lubbock, Texas. Cyclone man. Loves the Cyclones, lives in Lubbock, Texas. Hello, sir. Thank you for watching the show. Grade your football team right now, ABC or D?
Well, I think that we're an A right now. I mean, just because the work we put in, the dedication our guys had last week to sacrifice and invest in being here and putting the work doesn't stop. I mean, our job to get better. We're going to face the ultimate test in a couple weeks, and we got to be ready for it. So every day we're working with a purpose. We're driven by that. Our coaches had a great plan, and as you know, as well as anybody, when you do player of the games in each day. That we got different guys stepping up, and so for us, we got to put our self pity aside and for the greater good of the football team. And so just appreciate our guys continuing to working, and our minds are in the right place, our hearts in the right place, our efforts been better. You know, a lot of the areas of the special teams has been better. We're playing complementary football in some ways, and so we know as good as anybody that those roads and those games are tough. And so for us this year, if we're going to make another run at it, besides the first round game, our season is going to be on the road. And it's difficult to play in tough environments on the road, playoffs, and so. That's going to be a tough environment there. So we got to be ready for it. Guys have worked really hard, and so you don't get there by you get there by stacking days on top of days. Good days on top of good days, and so I think we got a good football team, and I think we're built for a strong finish.
Show them your sweatshirt. I love this. It says the standard lives here. I got to get me one of those, and so I love that. And so this football team takes on Seymour tomorrow night. It's going to be senior night, and so we're going to air the broadcast at 7 o'clock and kick off at 7:30 tomorrow night. Next Friday will be a home opener for the tournament for the postseason playoffs. TSSAA 7 o'clock kickoff. It's either Carter, Gibbs, or South Door right now, right? Is the opponent?
So.
Yeah, is the opponent for next week. So, but tomorrow night is what we're going to focus on. Obviously, it's senior night. We'll do the Cyclone Network tomorrow night. We'll go on there at 7 o'clock with the 4 cameras that we've been doing. So looking very much forward to that. So, what I'm going to ask you, a scouting report on the Seymour Eagles. We've won 3 in a row. They've lost 4 in a row. What's the story on them?
Well, I think that, it's obviously the second time we've ever played them in school history. They've had quarterback interchanges there with quarterbacks being banged up. But, they've got a good, solid football team. They played some good competition. It looks like, they're going to be a chance to make the playoffs as well. And so, I just think it's it goes back to the end of the day for us. It's a lot about us, but they got good size. They got good speed. They do a good job of spreading you out, throwing it and running it. They do have some size, do have some athleticism. And so, it's not a familiar opponent for us. It's, obviously, but I think that they're going to come in here with a, opportunity on a short week to, try to steal some momentum. So we just got to come out of the gate ready to go. I think, for us, we should be hungry and ready of another bye week, and we should be starving to play Thursday night.
Dalton Mitchell and Nate Stevens, both inside. I don't have in front of me, both inside of 120 yards, give or take, of throwing for 1,000 yards. Dalton Mitchell and Nate Stevens rushing for 1,000 yards. Both those guys, I feel like, will get that. What a testament to a team that only scored 7 points first 3 games of the year. Now all of a sudden these numbers are piling up. I think in large part that offensive line's
well, our offensive line's finding the rhythm. The continuity's been a lot better. We've talked about before, but Whitaker and Kyron and some of those guys have Justice at tight ends created a good rotation, good balance. We've moved guys like Cade around. Baker's given us some great moments at H-back and those receivers, and Nate's obviously kind of been the spark that's kind of created it all. And then we've got big plays out of dry, and but you're seeing different things from us to different wrinkles. I mean, you're seeing shovel passes like I mentioned, and screens, and it's different things that we've been accustomed to. And obviously just big play capability that we've needed. That we've had quick scoring strikes, 2-minute opportunities to score before the half. I mean, I think that so I mean, we've run speed options, we've run just crossing patterns. We've thrown the ball down the middle. That's all I've ever heard in 15 years is you don't throw the ball down the middle. So it's just, it's our job to keep evolving and keep adapting. And credit to those 2 guys, seniors. They've worked really hard to put us in a position to win. They got great confidence right now, and our offensive line just running the football, and then Tom being able to pick up the blitzes, pick up the pass protection. That's been a big key for our success too.
Cyclones play tomorrow night. How big is senior night?
Huge, Tom. I mean, I just think that especially the guys that have been in the program for 4 years, they've invested. Just the guys that played at Tia Duggar, that went through the youth football program. That's the thing about where we are, Tom. Is this is my 16th senior class, and so when I first got here, I stole a message from Colorado. It was RTD. It was Return to Dominance. We had a couple of years where we kind of went down. So then the youth football message was RTD starts with me. So if we were going to return to dominance, the return had to start from the youth program up. You know, we had to change
The culture.
the culture.
Yeah.
And so now we are the standard. So, you know, the standard lives inside of us each and everything. And so that's holding our people to accountable. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You know, same accountability we hold our players to, they hold me to. Assistant coaches too, everybody that's involved, the middle school program, the youth program, so we're heavily involved. That it all starts and ends somewhere. You know, I remember Fulmer on the backside of his nameplate says the buck stops here. It starts here, you know, and so we've created a culture now that we are the standard. Before, we want to return to dominance, get it back.
Now
You
we're
know,
here.
now we've got it back. You know, we don't want to drop off. So just proud of our guys, proud of our seniors. We've had excellent senior leadership through the course of the year. But just the versatility of our guys, you know, I talk about all the time is, you know, what makes up the person that's wearing a uniform is the guy inside. I mean, you talk about, you know, Bradley Cannon and Caden Drain, Sam, you know, Whitaker, Duff, you know, Nate, Cade, Dalton, Teddy, just you know, just Mason Williams, and it just, you know, go on right down through the line there. Just guys that just really, you know, meant a lot to our program. You know, they've big major parts while we're here. They've stuck with it, and you know, they're not only great people on the field, but they're great people off the field. GPAs and classroom achievement. You know, they've been the role models for a lot of people, and so it's their jobs to finish this thing off the right way.
Got to brag on two others before I let him go, because I know he's being a Cyclone. He's proud of anybody and everybody. The band went over to East Tennessee State last week, 20 bands across the South, and finished 4th out of 20 bands. Got down to 12 and finished 4th, the highest rating ever in the history of the school. Mr. Valentine's going to be with us tomorrow night to talk about that. They got a competition this weekend at John Battle. Then they're going next week to the State Band Championship down in Middle Tennessee. And then this morning we had him on earlier in the show, Mark Newman, the cross-country teams at Elizabeth, and both going to the state for the first time since 2005, 17 years. Newman was named Regional Coach of the Year. So football's been successful. And, Coach, I know you're pleased to know that, you know, your band and cross-country is successful too.
I think that's the standard that we're all trying to create for our programs. I mean, I think that's the standard that we're trying to create for our school system is just it carries over, you know. I mean, I think that, you know, Mr. Valentine knows before he ever took the job what the Betsy Band standard was. And so, I mean, obviously you don't want to keep it at the same level. You want to take it to another level. So, I mean, I think that's where we're all at. You know, it's not my job to keep it at the Dave Ryder standard. Just take it to the next round. You know, Perriello is a beloved band member, but it's Valentine's job to take it to a different place. And so I think that's where we're trying to create opportunities for our kids and the people we have is get them to an opportunity where they once didn't believe that they could take themselves. And so that's why we're here, you know. And so, you know, as a person that's been running around as Orange Black since I was 3 years old, is just my dream was always to get this program to where we always thought it could go and eventually be. And so, I mean, I think that's the expectation for everybody. I mean, if we don't have those expectations amongst not just the football program but all the way around, then I'm not sure what we're striving for each and every day. And so, I mean, I think that we have that in our middle school. We have that in, you know, our you know, basketball, baseball, softball, whatever it may be. I mean, we're all working as hard as we can, you know. We're obsessed with finding a way to get better. And so, you know, does that always happen year in and year out? No, it doesn't. For the most part, you know, that's why our teams, you know, very seldom have losing seasons. Or, you know, when one guy gets knocked down, we have another guy that steps up and help. And it's not built around one person or one player. It's a culture. It's an environment that people are moving and thirsting and thriving to be a part of. And so, I think that you know, you can't lose sight of those things. And you know, it's our job to continue to coach the players on good days and bad. You know, on days when they like you and on days when they don't like you. You know, so you just keep working, you keep doing the things you can do the best of your ability, and you know, communication's key. Obviously, being clear. You know, having concise, honest relationships. You know that you can have tough conversations with kids and say, hey, listen, I need you to do better. Hey, I need you to do stronger in these areas. Or hey, you know, that we don't have many discipline problems, you know, so our guys, people handle internally that, you know, we're trying to ultimately making a difference. And so when you talk about those seniors and things like that, Tom, it's truly what you truly remember. You don't remember the Friday night games. You remember the relationships and the journey it takes you to get there. And I always tell our guys that the reward is the journey. You know, when I don't think about the state championship game, I think about what it took to get there. You know, I don't think about the who won MVP. I think about the road that it took. I think about the game at Nolensville when we scored on 8 straight drives. I think about, Bryson Rollins coming to the sideline and saying, "Coach, we're going to a clap count." Like, why are we doing that? Because they can't hear. Just figuring out a way to win. How many people gave us a chance to win last year? And so I think that's why you play sports, is you give those opportunities, and that's ultimately what sports is about. So, I think that a lot of times when you get through the season, messages can get lost. But I think it's up to the players to continue to work every day, to continue to block out that noise, continue to get better, and have a purpose. I think we all need to have a purpose. And so, just the outside support, the teachers, the faculty, the parents, the community involvement. When they show up and visit our games, they want us to win, but they want us to play a certain way. And so I think that's what we've got a good thing going on here in the Orange and Black country. And, hopefully we can be a team here in the playoffs, and that, that can make a difference here not just these guys won't know it now.
Yep.
But they'll know it 5 or 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
Yep.
They'll really know it, and I think ultimately, that's where you're gonna make a difference.
You got it. What's your shirt say again?
Standard List here.
Love you, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Go Cyclones. God, he gets me fired up. How could you not put me in, Coach? And I couldn't. Lord have mercy, I wouldn't hit anybody. So, anyway, hello, Kerry Reed. Saw you last night. Run flying all over the gym, chasing that little youngin'. It was hilarious. Hello to Kathy Lyles. Appreciate you kids very much. Again, we're live here at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. We are. We'll take a break. We got Major League Baseball Game 1 of the World Series coming up. Also, a little bit later on, Stephen Harden, head basketball coach of the Lees McRae Bobcats, coming in to talk. His first time in. Up next, the old standard. Oh, he's like the old faithful out to Yellowstone. My old buddy. He's been with me every single week for these many 7 years, and over 1,700 shows, 1727. Greg Sauger next, talking Major League Baseball on the Tom Baylor Sports.
Come on, guys, hurry! Where is everyone? Why aren't the lights on?
I don't know, Sam. Seems like everything's off this year.
What's wrong with the lights?
Got me. Nothing's working. Hey, mind flipping that switch for me? Third time's a charm.
Wait, what? Wow. Huh? This is awesome.
Well, hello there, Sam.
Hi. What is all this?
Know when things are a little off? We turn them on.
What does this switch do?
That fixes bedhead.
What?
Oops, we might have to reverse that circuit.
Oh, what about that one there?
Replaces your goldfish with an exact replica.
Why would you need that?
No reason.
Whoa, what about that one?
That's the Step Springer. What are you looking for?
I wish there was a switch for my town.
Oh, Sam, there is no switch for that. But all people need is a little hope, a spark to light the way. And that can be in all of us, right here.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Be the spark.
Back on the Tom Baylor Sports Show. Look who stopped by. Jacqueline Smith is having a birthday today. Were you a fan of Charlie's Angels?
Absolutely. I had, and
unequivocally, absolutely.
Oh, Tom, during COVID, I went back and watched the whole series
of Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels again.
Farrah Fawcett, Kate Jackson, Jacqueline Smith, and after that there was interchanging parts. I think that was the main core three. Anyway, Jacqueline Smith having a birthday today. She is 77. Wheel of Fortune, you ever watch it? Pat Sajak's having a birthday today. He is 76.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Keith Urban's having a birthday. You a country music dude, Keith Urban?
I know who he is.
Yeah, okay. He's
Yeah,
55.
I know some of his songs.
Yeah, he's 55 today. That's the birthdays. Countdowns are on. We're down to 60 days till Christmas and 29 days till Thanksgiving. So hard to believe. Hard to believe. But we're here. And, of course, this time of the year, you know, we're getting ready to talk World Series, which we will in a minute.
Yeah.
Astros, Yankees. What went wrong in New York?
Wow.
Because it went wrong. So
okay, so 30 strikeouts over a 2-game period for the Yankees batters.
Yeah.
That was pretty tough.
Good pitching stops good hitting.
Good hitting, as you say, every time.
Every time. And it's true.
And that's what we saw in that series. You know, the Astros pitching was just dominant. Yankees had no answer for it.
Yep.
I mean, that's just if you're going to sum up that series, that's it.
On the other side of the ledger, the Phillies and the Padres.
Yeah, and I think we could kind of say the same thing.
Absolutely.
You know, the Phillies pitching was just phenomenal. It was really good, and both of them took care of business early. You know, I mean, we were 4-0 and 4-1.
Yeah.
So, you know, they didn't mess around. Neither one of these teams.
No, it was pretty impressive, and so we'll talk about the World Series coming up here in a minute because obviously it is the biggie. Starts on Friday.
Yeah.
A little bit other housekeeping news. The Kansas City Royals looking for a replacement for Mike Matheny.
Mm-hmm.
Pedro Grifol, Vance Wilson, Scott Thorman have been the names, and also Tampa Bay bench coach Matt Quatraro is another guy that's a front runner. Matheny, 165 wins, 219 defeats in 3 years. Not very good, to say the least. And so they made a change. Is that an attractive job or not to be a Kansas City Royals manager?
Well, major league managerial job's attractive to some people. I mean, just because you're in the majors, it's going to be a tough job for whoever gets it. I think for the first year or two at least. You know, they're definitely not at the top of their division right now, and they can be there. I mean, this team's got the potential to be there in the next 2 or 3 years, but probably not that first year.
The Marlins go get Skip Shoemaker, new manager, first-time manager of the Bigs.
Yeah.
He's played 11 seasons in the majors.
Mm-hmm. Played
First
for the
eight
Reds.
with the Cardinals. He was the Reds a little bit too.
Yeah, he sure did.
Okay. Part of 2 World Series winning Cardinals teams in 06 and 2011. Spent this past season as Cardinals bench coach. He was 4 seasons as assistant with the Padres. Replaces Don Mattingly. Good move or not a good move?
Mattingly likes it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's praised it. He said it's a good move for the Marlins. And of course, he knows that team better than anybody, and he thinks that Skip Schumacher is going to be able to come in and make a difference.
Rangers hired Bruce Bochy, brought him out of retirement. Is that a good move?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Bruce Bochy is a class manager. I mean, one of the best in baseball history. For the Rangers to go out and be able to pick him up, that was a fantastic move on their part.
Evan Carter, young man who's the Texas Ranger minor league player of the year from Elizabethton. I'm sure Bruce Bochy has probably figured him out. He's on his radar, I would think.
Knows all about him.
Yeah, because he knows this kid's got a lot of talent. And so Bruce Bochy, the new manager for the Texas Rangers. Then we get into the World Series. Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, let me go back for a second. The Yankees.
Okay.
All right. Aaron Judge. Are the Yankees going to re-sign him? Are they going to open up a checkbook and get him, keep him, or not?
They better.
Well, I know they better.
They better.
But will they?
If they don't, the fan base in New York is going to be livid.
Yeah.
You know, let's face it. He had a phenomenal season. Slam dunk MVP, I think, in the American League this year. I think there's no doubt about it. You know, when a guy comes up, and especially when he's going to be a free agent the year he has a season like he had, there's going to be a lot of teams looking at him. Mookie Betts has already said he'll be willing to move to second base so that the Dodgers can sign him to play right field.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Think about that. Think about Aaron Judge in that Dodgers lineup.
Well, But there again, them arguments going to come out. Got 111 wins, you got nothing to show for it.
That's true.
For the Dodgers.
That's true.
One of the best team in baseball regular season, but went out with a whimper.
Yeah, they did.
Boone, do you keep him as the manager of the Yankees or not? Because, let me stop right there. It was a game 4. One of his decisions, the players came out verbally in the press in New York and said, what was he doing?
Yeah.
So they're kind of talking behind his back and now out in front of him. So does management hear that? Do they keep him or not?
You never know with the Yankees. They have very high expectations. They're a team that expects to win every year and to move forward in the playoffs every year, and they did, but they fell short of the World Series this year.
Yep.
And that's not something that the Yankees are used to doing. They're used to winning. I mean, let's face it. There's not a more winning franchise in all of Major League Baseball than the New York Yankees, and that's what they expect. If he was managing any other team except maybe the Dodgers, I would say absolutely he's still got a job. You win that many games, absolutely.
Yeah.
But with the Dodgers and the Yankees, they expect to be consistently one of the, if not the best team in baseball, one of the 2 best teams in baseball. They came up against an Astros team that made them look human. And they had looked really good. I mean, and let's face it, after the All-Star break, the Yankees took a nosedive for a
Absolutely.
while. They first half of the season they were unbelievably good. We were talking about them having the opportunity to set huge records as far as wins go. And of course, they didn't come close to that because after the All-Star break, it was like the All-Star break hit and boy, it did them a disservice. They didn't need that break. They needed to keep the pedal to the metal, and they weren't able to do that. So would I keep Aaron Boone? Probably.
All right.
I would, but I'm not the Yankees. And the Yankees, I wouldn't be surprised if they make a change.
Before we get into the World Series, we're going to break it down here. Game 1 is Friday night at Minute Maid Park in Houston. The Padres, what do you do? I mean, San Diego goes out to the All-Star break and opens up a checkbook and goes and gets Soto and Bell and Hader, and so all these guys who went and got, along with Machado, and of course Tatis was Tatis, but they spent a lot of money and got nothing to show for it. What do they do in the offseason?
Yeah, a lot of those guys are going to be free agents too. Brandon Drury is going to be a free agent. They picked him up at the All-Star at the trade deadline. So Soto's going to be around. They will keep Soto. They will keep Soto as long as they possibly can.
Absolutely,
keep Soto.
I would think.
You are not going to get rid of a guy like that if he's on your team and you can afford to pay him. They'll keep him. Will Myers has an option for the year, so you don't know what's going to happen with that. I mean, a lot of their top players are still going to be with the team, though, and the Padres have shown that they're willing to go out and get the pieces they need to compete now.
Yep.
They are not going to rebuild. I can't imagine that team, because of their mindset, just the way they think about doing things. They're willing to pour money into it. I don't think they're not going to rebuild anytime soon. If just by what has happened as far as them not making to the World Series. That was a blow to them. I think after being able to pull off the upset, and I'll call it that, over the Dodgers. They probably had high expectations and fell short. Came up against a really hot Phillies team, and I think we'll see the Padres signing more players. That's what they do. They don't develop as much as they sign. That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got the money to do it, do it. If you can compete. Unfortunately for them, it just doesn't seem to work out.
No, it's not an endorsement to the farm system either. That they go out and buy players instead of developing. Let me say that word again.
Yeah.
Developing them. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
now, of course, Tatis came up through their farm system,
but that's just one.
Yeah, that's one.
Usually go out and open the checkbook and go get them. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's take a look at Bryce World Series Game 1. Bryce Harper. Hello to Rick Ranson. Hello, sir, down in Pensacola, to Betty Lacey, Everett Wagner, Kerry Reed, Taz Irwin, Kathy Lyle, some of the folks watching. Coming up, Stephen Harden, the head basketball coach of Lees McRae, is going to join us for the first time ever. He is here. He's right over yonder. And so he'll be coming in here in just a few minutes talking about Bobcat basketball, which is pretty cool. I need to get me a shirt that says Bobcat Basketball.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Lise McRae.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Ev watching today, by the way, your mom?
She is. She's watching.
Oh, Ev.
Yeah,
Ev.
she's watching.
Yeah.
She's still waiting for that T-shirt you promised her, too.
I can't remember the size. I was going to ask you off there, so let's do it again.
We'll
wait a minute.
do it.
Wait a minute.
Just have her text it
no,
to you.
Didn't she tell you before?
Oh, I know what it is.
Well, here.
You said hoodie and T-shirt.
Yeah.
And the sizes are different.
Yeah, I know. So here we go. I'm going to put Ev. Look right here at the bottom of October.
Okay, I see that. You
Ev. Or I said Eve. Ev.
Okay.
All right.
Medium T-shirt.
T is medium.
And large hoodie, you said.
And the hoodie.
Large.
Is an L.
Yeah.
Ev. There you go. You see it? I wrote it down.
I saw that, and I hope nothing comes up on the 29th now for you.
No. Oh, yes. You're right.
He wrote that right on his calendar.
On the calendar.
So on the 29th, he's going to remember this.
Ev.
T-shirt
and a hoodie, and or one of the two.
Yeah.
So I've got the. I have the T-shirt in the car. No, I don't have the T-shirt in the car. I took them in, so I got them in the house.
Okay.
Which doesn't do any good.
Not
a
today.
Large T-shirt. You'll be here next week. We'll have the T-shirt
I'll
next
be here
week.
next week.
Maybe I don't know if I can get the hoodie printed by then, but I'll have your T-shirt next week, Ev.
All right.
I promise you.
All right.
Oh, Tom, you said that so much. Oh, Tom. All right. Bryce Harper, here we go.
Yeah.
Won the Golden Spikes Award in 2010. Top amateur baseball player in the country. First position player to win Rookie of the Year as a teenager. 3 years later became the youngest MVP winner in Major League history at the age of 22. Before adding another one in 2021. In 2019, signed the largest contract in Major North American sports history at the time. 13-year, $330 million contract. He can become the first number one overall pick in Major League Baseball history to win a Rookie of the Year award, MVP, and a World Championship if the Phillies do it.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive, is it not?
That is.
The first number one overall pick in Major League Baseball history to win a Rookie of the Year award, the MVP, and a World Championship if the Phillies do it. Can the Phillies do it, I guess, is the question.
Well, they can. I mean, there's no doubt. They've made it this far. I will go on record as saying I think they're the underdogs. I think both teams have good pitching. Let's face it. The Phillies have already announced their pitchers for the first two games. It's going to be Aaron Nola in Game 1, Zach Wheeler in Game 2. Pretty stout right there.
Yeah.
The Astros have not announced their pitchers yet, but I imagine we'll hear Verlander in those first two for
I
sure.
would
Probably,
think.
if not the first one, then definitely the second
I would
one.
think you'd put the ace of the stab out there one of those two games.
Absolutely. Here's what bugs me. It wouldn't have been nice if we could have said he would be the second player to have done that, because wouldn't have been nice if Ken Griffey Jr. had won a World Series.
Yeah.
But
he didn't.
Just never did.
All right, so the Astros have topped 100 wins 4 times in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
It is.
This year they won 106. Phillies only won 87 in the regular season. The Phillies got on a roll, beat the Cardinals, the Braves, and of course they finished things off with the Padres. So
that's a record, by the way, in
yeah.
the World Series. There's never been that much of a distinction between regular season win totals between the two teams playing in the World Series.
Phillies are 9-2 in postseason this year. The Astros are a perfect 7-0. Wow. Now, here's a guy I think's not getting the credit he should get. Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
The guy's getting it done.
Absolutely, he is.
25th season as a manager. He's won a division title with a record 5 different teams and 3 different pennants, but he's never won a World Series ring as a manager.
Yeah.
73 years old. Let me read that again. That's pretty impressive. 25 years. He's won a division title with 5 different teams. That tells you how good a manager this guy is.
Yeah.
And 3 different pennants, but never a World Series championship. So for that reason alone, I'm pulling for the Astros to beat the Phillies for Dusty Baker. He's 73. He ain't got, he can't do this forever.
Yeah.
So
he has more wins as a manager than any other manager in baseball history who has not won a World Series. Gene Mauch is right behind him.
Wow.
But yeah.
Stephen Harden joins us coming up. Head basketball coach Lise McRae. So you look at the Houston Astros. Here's the other thing, these guys. 2017 title 5 years ago. They only got 5 guys still in the roster.
Yeah.
Altuve, Bregman. That
Yuli Gurriel.
Yuli Gurriel. Lance McCullers, and Justin Verlander. Out of the 2017 5 years, only 5 guys still on the team, so there's been a total, Charlie Morton's in Atlanta, a total, Keuchel's wherever he's at now. He was there at that point in time, so he's gone. So Jeremy Pena and Yordan Alvarez, these guys are the sticks, aren't they?
They are. Wow. I mean, we talked about Alvarez all year, but Pena has really come around at in the playoffs for sure. And I'll tell you what, if those two guys, Altuve has had a horrible playoffs.
Yes.
I mean, he finally got a hit, but it was horrible how he was playing for a while.
Yeah.
Especially at the plate, but but if Altuve comes around at all to help these guys, I think the Phillies are going to struggle. I mean, here's what I will say: both of these teams have proven what you've said over and over and over again. Good pitching will get you there.
Yep.
Good pitching and defense will win championships, and that's what these two teams both have. So now we're anxious to see which one of them really comes through in the pinch, because this is where the rubber meets the road. You get to the World Series, it's all hands on deck. Anywhere from 4 to 7 games are going to be played, and you do whatever you can,
whatever it takes
to win 4 games.
You got it. Tell you the guy I think, we're talking about the Phillies here in a second, but I think the guy for the Astros and the pitching staff, Verlander's Verlander. I sat and watched Valdez pitch over the weekend. That guy's a stud. I'm telling you.
He is
a stud.
He absolutely is.
The rest of them are too, but this guy's a cut above. Framber Valdez can sling it. He's got that lefty. He's got that curveball, drops off just got gone. Yeah. So I think he's going to be the key to the series. Whatever night he gets the ball, or whatever day.
I'm guessing game 2.
Game 2, yeah. Should be Verlander, Valdez, I would think 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So, but then you look at Kyle Schwarber on the other side with the Phillies. Let's give them some props too. 46 home runs this season for the Phillies. Clubbed 3 home runs and 15 at bats in the championship series against the Padres. He now has 12 career playoff home runs and 145 at bats. Okay, then you look at Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah.
Only hitting 182 in the postseason.
But
out of his 8 hits, 5 have been home runs. 11 RBIs, 11 games for Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah.
Then, of course, the catcher, Real Muto, he's been swinging the stick pretty good, too.
He has.
And plus Bryce Harper, hottest guy on the planet. In 11 playoff games, they're 9 and 2. We're talking about this year, 11 playoff games. He's hitting .419, 6 doubles, 5 home runs, and 11 RBIs. So as Harper goes, they go.
Yeah.
So remember, he was on the DL not that long ago with a broken thumb, broken pinky, broken something.
He was. I think it was thumb. Yeah, I think it was his thumb.
All right, so you look at the pitching matchups. Here we go. Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola. All right, Ranger Suarez at number 3. Astros will go with Verlander in game 1. Framber Valdez should be in game 2. He is. And then Christian Javier or Lance McCullers will be that third starter. So
yeah, Lance McCullers, had a little tweak there in that last game that he pitched. So don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he's going to be available.
Now here's the key part of this whole series: the bullpen. Starting pitching will get you 5 or 6 good strong innings, but then you got to go into the pen. Who has the better bullpen?
So if you'd have asked me during the regular season, I would have said by far the Astros, but the Phillies bullpen has shown up for the playoffs.
Yep. Is it effing?
So I still say the Astros, but slightly. Let's say slightly. Because if the Phillies can continue to do what they have done lately from their bullpen, if they continue to get that kind of production, they're going to make a series of it. So it's going to be interesting to see, because if you really look at it on paper, you really think, well, the Astros should win this thing.
Yeah.
But there's a reason they play the games. You never know what's going to happen.
And the Phillies got that mojo.
They do. They absolutely do.
We gave the stat a couple of weeks ago. They finished the last 12 or 13 games on the road away from home. Had to do the wild card and go in and play the Cardinals. Then they had to play the Atlanta Braves before they got to go home and play in Philly. Their bullpen is Alvarado and Dominguez and Robertson and Zach. I saw Eflin pitch the other night. He's a stud.
Yeah,
he can bring it. And then I didn't see Bellotti pitch or Brad Hand, but Phillies have a workable 3.19 ERA in the playoffs. Of course, on the other side, you've got this guy's lights out, Ryan Presley.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
Rafael Montero, Hector Zeneris.
Yeah.
NERS, Hector Neris, and Luis Garcia, Hunter Brown. So bullpens are good. Dusty Baker against Thompson, who was the interim manager and got the permanent.
Yeah, he got the interim removed.
Yeah, he's the main dude now, and he's proved it. He's done a great job. So
Yes.
I'm going Astros. Who you going?
Yeah, I will too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a sweep, but I think the Astros will win it.
Yeah, the Astros have swept everybody so far.
Yeah.
They've not got a loss in the playoffs yet.
Yeah.
So
I don't see him sweeping them, but I think the Astros will win it.
Yeah, I think they will.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Are you hungry, by the way?
I am hungry today.
Well, get
Yes,
in there
I
and
am.
go up there and grub out a little bit. Get after
will
it.
do that.
We'll see you back here next week.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you as always.
right.
Ev, I can't thank your son enough coming in here every week, with the exception of vacation. A couple times you've been sick. Even during COVID, he called in. So I can't thank him enough for what he does. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Thanks, sir.
There you go. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go from baseball to hoops. Stephen Harden, head coach of the Lees McRae Bobcats in the house. He joins us next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Tell me all about that, would you please?
Oh yeah, we have several free resources. We have financial calculators. So what you could do is visit bmycu.org, and if you want to learn how to get your debt paid down or how long it's going to take you to pay your mortgage off, anything like that, you go right on our website, bmycu.org, go to resources, and then you can find financial calculators, and it's just really cool. It does the work for you, and then we got the financial planner available for you at the main office, always there to help you. She is wonderful. And then this week we are opening our student branches, and I'm going to bring Belda in next week, and she's going to tell you a little bit about student branches and what that entails next week. And electronic services such as bill pay, e-statements, mobile app, all that fun stuff. We have insurance products, accidental death or dismemberment. That's free to our members. 2,000 of that. You just have to be a member and turn it in. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And discounted tickets, people love those. You got Dollywood, Carowinds, Biltmore tickets. If you want more information, once again, you visit bmycu.org and get those. And then we've got Business Spotlight for business accounts. You can display your business at one of our 4 locations when it's available all month, and it's free, and showcase what you got.
Locations are where?
In Roe Mountain, in Elizabethan, one on 19E, and then one behind Elizabethan High School. And then we've got one in Johnson City off of West Oakland Avenue.
You've already said it, but again, social media, how do we find you?
You find me at Northeast Community Credit Union on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or bmycu.org, or you can call us at 423-547-1200.
One of the great sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, the great folks again at Northeast Community Credit Union, our good friend, Miss Andrea Lewis. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look who stopped by. I'll tell you what, this is our first-time guest, and I'm excited about having. I hope we can get him on a regular basis. I know Banner Elk's a little ways down the road, but they have phones over there. We can certainly call in and promote the Lees McRae basketball, the Bobcats, and so I got to get me a shirt or a sweatshirt that says
yes, sir.
Lees McRae basketball.
Lees McRae basketball, or we can get you one that says Dunk Mountain. That's kind of our
Dunk Mountain.
Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
our little I guess slogan and logo that we've had for roughly about 8 years now, and I think it's caught on more than.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where Lees McRae is, but everybody knows where Dunk Mountain is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Dunk Mountain and the Woolly Worm Festival.
Yes.
Banner Elk.
That
Lees
is
McRae.
the 2 keys.
Yep. The school overall, I mean, what's the enrollment?
Right now we're roughly about 950.
Yeah.
It's kind of inclined every year, and I've got the guy that's over enrollment management is actually now my assistant. So he's a VP, and he's been a Division I assistant, but he wanted to help. So it's his first year helping. Kevin, he does a great job with academics and getting kids to school. So I'd say in 3 years we're probably going to be roughly around like 1,500.
That's
we're
awesome.
Growing like crazy.
That is awesome. It's a beautiful campus. And, of course, Banner Elk's beautiful in of itself, obviously, and so it's nestled up in the mountains. If you've not been there, most folks around there have been. I went through it just the other day on the way to our fall break getaway. So love Banner Elk, love Lees McRae and the Bobcats. So he grew up in Elizabeth. And tell me, let's talk. Your father's here.
Yeah.
We love him too. How did Stephen Harden get into coaching?
Whoa, well, I think I really think I was an apprentice. I was the oldest of 3 brothers, and I just grew up, naturally. Dad was a basketball coach, long-time basketball coach, and loved it. And I was an average player, and just knew that I wanted to stay in the game, and was blessed to play with a lot of great people like Sean, who's doing a phenomenal job for the football team. Mike Morrell was with us, and Jason Witten. So we're all the same age, and all of us are kind of coaching now. So that's a little different thing. I think Pops has got a tree that goes a mile long with a lot of people that coach now. So that's kind of how I kind of got started with it. Was literally just seeing the nights and seeing how it worked out, and I knew that I just didn't want to do high school. I wanted to do something different, I guess, than the Pops did.
It's interesting. You look at the coaching tree, if you will, coming just out of the Tri-Cities, and I'm going to leave out somebody, but I know Dustin Kearns from Dobbins, and I used to call his games. He's the head man at Appalachian State. Michael Morrell, head man at UNC Asheville. And Stephen Harden, who we have, obviously, is the head man at Lees McRae. So basketball's in your blood around here. So what did Pops, a.k.a. Coach Tony Harden, what did you learn from him that you now use in your coaching every day?
Oh, we use the main thing, I think, is just how to talk to kids. I think those things go almost more than X and O's, is just keeping guys invested and keeping guys excited and understanding certain things for roles. Those are big. We play a lot of guys, so being able to handle that's huge. And then the matchup zone that he kind of made around here, that was his. We run it in the college level, so I press and play a lot faster. He used it to hold those Kingsport or Science Hill teams back in the day a little slower, and I use it an opposite way, but still the basis is the same. I've been blessed to put it on Championship Productions, and hopefully it comes out I guess next year, so people will get to buy it and watch that, so that'll be fun. But that's probably the main thing with his is definitely the people, understanding people, one, and then just the defensive asset of it.
How many years have you been coaching Lees McRae?
This is my 12th. I'm starting my 12th year, so it's been a little while. I stayed here. We've moved all around the South, and my wife played on a lot of those really good Hampton teams. She's a principal in Bristol, so we actually live in Hampton, and we just split. And I drive up the mountain, and she and the kids go to Bristol. So that's we just have our little split.
That's awesome. Talking to Coach Harden, talking about Lees McRae basketball. Is it hard to recruit for Lees McRae at this point?
It was at the start. You're talking about the mountains, you're talking about a different area, and understanding, just like you talking about going up there. It's better for people that's older, for guys like us to go hang out there with just the clientele and just the finances, the money, and just the awesome things that's up there. But for a young college kid, there's not a lot to do. There's not a ton of places to eat and those things. So early on, just because the program had never won before, was hard. But once we started winning, and then after we won our first championship, it so easily clicked up. And right now, just with the COVID years, and high school is so jammed, there's a lot of kids out there that are dying for places to play. So it has become easier, I guess.
How many championships?
We've got a couple. So we got a couple into the NCAA tournament, and I was at Bluefield and got a decent amount there when I was at Bluefield College. And before that, I was at Tennessee Tech, and you mentioned Dustin Kearns. We worked together at Tennessee Tech, and was with John Schulman and Jeff Lebo. Schulman is also a East Tennessee guy and grew up in Elizabethton and played at University High.
So, gosh, there's a lot of guys coming out of Elizabethton.
Yeah, we're all connected. All East Tennessee. It's crazy. We're a little bit across the country, but now all of us are almost regionalized here. So that's really cool. Is that I'm that close back to home. That was one thing about Lee's that made it so special, and it's why I've stayed here.
Tell us about your team this year.
We got a chance to be really good, I think. We've got some local guys with Nico. We scrimmaged yesterday. The score was 98-95. So if you want to see some high flying and a lot of threes and a lot of dunks, I think we had 15 dunks yesterday in our scrimmage. So we are fun to watch. I'll tell you that for sure. And our little gym, we pack it out and it's hot, and you get that old East Tennessee, I guess, feel of a small gym and just in a better environment than, no disrespect to what you talked about with Dustin or Mike, but you can go in a big hollow arena, and it's hard to kind of get that environment. But ours is super tight, and we're packed out, and people have a lot of fun watching games there.
Kind of like Hoosiers?
It's a little like Hoosiers, that's for sure. It's hot in there, and it is it is a small gym that
Cracker Box.
Yeah, Cracker Box that goes. I would almost equate it to a little bit bigger version of UNACA. You know, you got
Really?
two sides that are probably, I think it holds about 500 to 600 total.
That's awesome. Yep. In fact, who was I telling the other day? You can now go out in Indiana where they filmed Hoosiers. You can go into the gym, go down to the locker room where Normandale and the boys were, and so it was Milan was the name of the team, which is I've heard different stories. It was a true story, but Milan wasn't the name of the team. But anyway, the point is,
Yeah.
you can go out there in Indiana and you can go into the gym, that Cracker Box we're talking about, where they filmed the movie, and it's now a tourist attraction. So, but you don't have to go there. You can come to Banner Elk.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
get a
you
Cracker
can. You
Box
can do
there
it a little
to Dunk
shorter
Mountain.
trip. Yeah, and they do a lot of coaching clinics at that Hoosiers deal.
Oh, do they
It's
really?
an awesome thing. Yeah, I think my pops actually went last year just to go tour it, and they do a little coaching clinics there and stuff with that too.
Have you been to
so-
the gym where Hoosiers was filmed?
Yeah.
Why didn't you call me? What kind of friend is that?
I know, that's right there.
Come
for
on.
sure.
I
For
thought we were
sure.
buds. I want to go out there and see that. So, but we can see it this year. So you got Nico Ashley from Elizabeth, and any
Yes.
other local kids?
We do. We have Brandon Brown, who's from Bristol, who played at Tennessee early in his career, and then played at one of those high private schools in West Virginia. I'm not sure which one it was, but he's from Bristol, Tennessee, and he's a freshman, super stud. He actually was committed to Tennessee Tech and decommitted and ended up coming to us. So we're really excited about him and high on him as a freshman as well.
That's awesome. You play in what conference?
We do play in the Conference Carolina.
Carolina
So
Conference.
unfortunately, our rival is King, and me and Coach Gillespie, who is the coach there now, work together at Bluefield and at Tennessee Tech, and he has kind of been East Tennessee guy. He went to school at Milligan and been through that whole coaching tree with Tennessee Tech. So we're pretty much best friends. So it's weird that we're now rivals with him being at King and we're at Lees McRae. So they make a big deal out of that game. And our first weekend we play actually at King versus Carson Newman, which is another local one, and then University of Wise. It's a classic us and King play those two the first weekend. I want to say it's 11th and the 12th.
So on your schedule, when it comes out every year, of course you make it, which one do you draw the circle and go, there's the team? What's the rival?
You know, I guess everybody says King because King is our rival. And we do a cup with King with Lees McRae versus King. Whoever wins the most out of all the sports gets this award and things like that with the cup. But now I think it's UNC Pembroke. They've been really, really good. They won it last year. They're always top 10 in the country, so I think that's the one that we, conference-wise, that we circle around. We're playing Lincoln Memorial this year, who will probably be preseason number 1 or 2 in the country when it comes out. They got everybody back. They got a chance to be pretty great, so that's another one. This year's a little different. We go to NC State on the 2nd, so this Wednesday, I guess, coming up. And so that'll be super fun just to play a high major, so I know we've got that one circled as well.
North Carolina State. That'll probably be a checkbook game, would it not?
That is definitely a checkbook game. Yeah. We're hoping that we can show up and have fun at least for a half and see what happens.
And make some money.
Yes, sir.
For the program. So it's really cool. I mean, this is exciting. So what do you feel like your strength's going to be this year in your team?
You know, naturally, we press and go, so I do think our transition will be a thing. I think we've been top 5 in the country in scoring, right around 90, 95 a game. So I think this team has that because we're unselfish and move to basketball. We're going to play a lot of guys. So I think our strength is our, cliche as it is, our strength in numbers and just being able to defend 94 feet. If we can guard, I think we'll be okay.
If you were the head of the NCAA and you could make changes to college basketball, wave the magic wand to make it a better product, what would you do?
You know, I think there's 3 levels, and I think the NCAA really needs to understand, even in Division I, it's vastly different from high major than to
mid-major.
UNC Asheville, or we talked about, or App State, or ETSU, or those types. And I think that's the number one thing that needs to be kind of addressed. It's kind of the hidden thing, a part of NCAA on that. Those guys are pretty much professionals, and we just need to kind of treat that as a different level. And then just overall, and the other parts of it would be, I don't know, that's a great question. I'm on the NCAA Champs Committee, so I get to hear a lot about our tournaments, and I'm involved in the Elite Eight and getting to help rate and rank those teams. So that's super fun. So I've learned the other side of the NCAA on that, and getting to go to the NCAA offices. So I do get to see that side of it. But there's so many different small identities that I think could just make the game better.
All right, I'll throw some out for you because I've heard these over the years. Raise the rim up,
Yes.
make it higher, for it or against it.
I think in time it probably could help for sure.
Widen the lane, make it the international lane like
Yeah.
the Olympics.
Yes.
Yay or nay?
I like that. I think we should just all go more to the Olympic style. I think most of those rules would be good for college basketball, and then NBA can do a little different if they want.
3-point line, move it up or move it back or leave it alone?
Probably, I think we moved it back, I guess, 2 years ago, and everybody saw a decline for a little bit, and now it's back regular. So it's almost like I think they need to move the high school line back to almost the old college line, and maybe move the college line back to what you're talking about, go more FIFA rules and do that, and just where it's almost trapezoid where the corners are a little shorter, and use it that way.
Shot clock?
Shot clock, at 30, I'm fine with it right now. I mean, we play so fast that doesn't affect us on a lot of times, but I think 30 might be okay. My personal opinion is just the high major college basketball is overcoached, so it gets kind of almost boring to watch sometimes, and that's why some people either hate the NBA or love the NBA, but the NBA just kind of flows better than some of those high major games unless it's a elite game playing,
Besides your father, any coach you could sit down and have lunch with, either one that's passed away or still currently living, you sit down and go, I want to sit down with him and pick his or her brain as a coach for lunch, who would you do?
It's easily got to be John Wooden. I mean,
Absolutely.
I was a Dean Smith fan and loved that, and got to go to practices and sneak in when Dad went, and I've grown to like Duke better. The area I'm in, there's a lot of Duke donors, so I learned a lot about Duke and got to go to practices. And I mean, Coach K did a phenomenal job, and that you got to respect that. But I think John Wooden's teachings, I heard it on a podcast now, it transcends eras. This era is totally different coaching than even 10 years ago, or even, I mean, it's vastly different when I was a player, and I think the way he taught, just the character of a kid and just the simple parts still goes today. I don't think a Bobby Knight could have a job today.
No.
It's just the way it goes different.
Yep. 10 straight college championships. 10 straight. That's unbelievable.
Never happened again.
No. That'll be an untouched stat. Talked about this. I spoke at a class last week, and I talked about this. You have a level of expectation. You expect to win. And so every day after practice, you probably know this about Wooden. Every day after practice, they would go up and cut down the net. And they would take, today you would cut it down, tomorrow I'd cut it down. Every single day in practice, after each practice, every day, they'd cut down the net as if they won the national championship. Guess what? Became expected.
Yes.
It's an acquired. I mean, you just expect it, and when they actually cut it down, it was a big deal. It wasn't a big deal because they were ready for it.
Yeah, they knew how to cut it.
Knew how to cut it down.
They knew all the pieces.
All the pieces.
We did a part of that this year, and our very first practice, when it was over with. Now, luckily, my net was needing to be changed, so it was perfect timing anyway. But we waited till pretty much October 15th, our first day of practice, and after it was over with, we cut it as a team down. And then we did a couple of pieces with that, and we play our national championship in Indiana, and we literally have the arena picture in our lockers, and I think that was a Dean Smith thing, probably from Coach Wooden thing, and so we did all those things this year, but it is the first time I've ever did those things.
That's awesome. Social media, how can we keep up with Lees McRae basketball?
Yeah, you just go to at Dunk Mountain and it's Dunk Mountain, and it is literally just on Instagram and Twitter. We actually have a ton of following. We do a really good job with social media. We're kind of been NCAA voted us Division II one year that our social media was one of the best in the country at a non-high major. So we do a really good job with that, and then so both those are IG, and then mine is just Coach Harden. It's just Coach Harden. It might be LM Coach Harden on Twitter, and then it's just Coach Harden on Instagram as well, Coach Steve Harden.
The school has a website, does not? Athletic department?
It does.
LeesMcRae.com.
It's just LeesMcRae.com. Yeah. Actually, super simple to get to. and I think they have a little short one that's just LMC Bobcats, and it's lmcbobcats.com as well.
Had Coach Robinson on earlier. They start tomorrow night, University of Cumberland. He's got his hands full, he says.
Sure. Yeah.
When do the Bobcats start?
Yeah, that's I missed him on the way out. I saw him. I wish I got to chat with him. We love coming over and getting to talk to Coach. And ironically, when I was at Bluefield and King, he was at Montreat forever. So I got to know Coach Robinson for a good long time. And his new assistant, Alex, has always worked our camps. So he's got a good little staff there, and he actually has one of our former players. So we try to help each other out as much as possible. But we scrimmaged each other yesterday with officials, and then we got a scrimmage this weekend, and then we start for real, I guess, the November 2nd NC State game is our first one. So NC State game. It is considered an exhibition game, and then the 11th and 12th is when our first official
Up at
games.
King.
Yeah, up at King.
Yep.
Up at King.
Man, thanks for coming.
Yes, sir. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the chance to meet you. I've seen you several times. Last time I saw you out, poor Travis coming in and get a sandwich. He said, "Will you come be on the show?" I said, "Yeah, promote the Bobcats anytime we can." So I know you'll be busy during the season, but it's a phone call away. You can still talk on the phone.
Yeah, anytime you need it, and then we'd love to get on there and promote the team, or just talk some basketball, or just talk anything. So
we're going to talk to Pops here. He thinks he's not going to talk. He's going to talk.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Appreciate it.
Yes,
and
sir.
Just say, go Cyclones. Let's keep going. Let's keep rolling.
And go Bobcats, right?
Go Bobcats. That's for sure.
On Dunk Mountain. I love it.
Dunk Mountain. That's it.
I'm going to give you a sweatshirt. I need a double XL Dunk Mountain.
Double XL. I got you. I'm going to write it down. I need to call Brandon right now. He's got a lot of my stuff.
Proudly wear a Dunk Mountain sweatshirt.
Awesome. We'll get it because Brandon is working on a lot of my gear as we speak. He's sprinting to get it done so I can give it out.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, Coach, come here just a second. Rachel, don't sit right there. Don't leave. You're going to be right there. I want to get Pops on here real quick. Won't keep him long. He's got to be a proud papa. I would be. So,
sure.
Tony Harden, longtime coach. Look at him here. So, he's got his Lees McRae. Sporting it.
Yeah.
So,
got to.
I'm a dad. You're a dad. What's it mean to have this young man? Of course, you got three boys you're very proud of, obviously, all three of them. But what's it mean for you to be following your footsteps as a coach?
Can't hardly put words to it. Honestly, it's just amazing. And when I hear him say certain things, I'm like, I know where he got that. I know where he got that. Very proud.
Imitation's the sincerest form of flattery.
It is. You want 3 years ago when they won it was just ridiculous. Yeah. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
He's got some awesome kids too, which I really like.
You like they can play,
grandkids are fun. Yeah.
15. Oh, your grandkids talking about it? Okay.
Yeah.
And his kids on his team, he had 15 dunks yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I went up to the scrimmage, and it's like the first thing I told him after, I was like, "You can score.
Yeah.
If you can learn to do the other stuff, if you can learn to guard and rebound it, you're going to be pretty good. I got a chance to be special."
Now, does he ask you or do you? How does that work? Do you say, "Here's what I think you should do," or does he say, "Pops, what do I need to do"? Or it goes both ways.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Mostly, we just share what we see, and he's the man. So it's all I'm doing is sharing my observations, and he takes it and does with it whatever. He's got a really good assistant, two assistants actually, but Coach Motley's really, really good, and they work really well together. He does have some really good kids that are dialed in, but it's fun to watch for me. It's just amazing, And like he's talking about the atmosphere and the games, people here need to get up there. You would not believe the intensity that they come with.
I'm gonna come watch a game. You know, it'd be really cool. I don't know if he'd let me do it. I'd come up here and stream a game. You could help me.
Oh yeah,
that'd be cool.
We can do that. We can talk to the AD about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I'd love
That'd
to come
be
up
great.
and stream it right here and send it all over the country.
That would be great.
It'd be Taylor. No, I'd give him top billing. Pops Harden and Tom Taylor calling Lees McRae ball game. I
think it'd be great.
At least do one. That'd be cool.
That'd be great. We'll have to talk to Craig about that.
Yeah,
Steve, we will.
I'll put that in your. Let you put that in your pipe and see if you can smoke it. See if you can make it happen.
Sounds great.
We'll go up and do one. Sure.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. So as he said, Michael Morrell, Elizabethton coaching UNC Asheville, Dustin Kearns, Dobbins Bennett, head coach at Appalachian State.
Mm-hmm.
It was he's told me another one. Who's the other one? Morrell, Kearns. There's another one you mentioned that's local.
Gillespie
at
King.
From King, yeah.
Yeah, Schulman, yeah.
And Schulman, John Schulman, who University High coached with the Bucks when I was doing the play-by-play, and then went on down to UT Chattanooga.
Yep.
So, wow. it means there's a pretty good hotbed of basketball.
I think so. You know, there've been some great coaches have gone through here. You know, back through the years when I was coaching high school. I mean, everybody you named was like a legend. So it's a good place. Good place to watch hoops.
Last question: how did you get the nickname Pops?
Well, we were living in Knoxville at the time, and Steve brought his team down, and he had a point guard, and I was like, Steve's like, this is the original Coach Harden. I was like, well, we can't go with that. And so his point guard said, we're going to call you Pops. And it's stuck.
There you go.
His kids call me that, and I love it. It's just it's an endearing term to me now.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's a compliment.
I think so.
Absolutely. I'll take it as such. Thank you. Have you had anything to lunch? You had any lunch?
We're good. We're going to do something. Hang out a little bit.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Dunk Mountain.
Yes.
So
Dunk Mountain, you got to come.
If you work on that, I'll go up here, and if they'll allow me to come up here and stream it.
We'll talk to Craig.
We'll run it through here and we'll try one. See
That'd
what
be
happens.
great.
What the heck? So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Be awesome.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Go Bobcats. So that's awesome. Lise McRae. All right, let's bring her in here one more time. Rachel Robinson, you've been waiting patiently to be on the show.
I have.
And she would be Bill Robinson's daughter, of course, who was here earlier, the head coach of the Milligan University men's basketball team. So it's awesome, and we appreciate him, appreciate Coach Harden and Pops. Now I'm going to call him Pops all the time now. It's Pops. Everybody calls Pops Harden. I love it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. So it's been busy in here today.
Yeah, it's been a busy day.
Yeah, 297-1266 is the number to call. Now, I told myself I was going to do this because you're going to tell me going into the holidays. We went down this last time how many trays there are. Okay, there is a mac and cheese.
Yep.
There's a fruit. What else?
Salad. And then we have it's called a sub tray. They're basically like a multi-grain sub roll with grilled chicken. They're really good.
No, wait a minute. I got to write all this down. Sub roll with grilled chicken. Okay.
And then
Nuggets.
Yep, nuggets, strips.
Okay. What else?
We have
Cool Wrap.
Yeah, we have a Cool Wrap tray.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What are we leaving off? Chicken minis?
Yep, minis in the morning until 10:30.
Okay, minis. Okay. Let's see. Chicken club?
We
Nope.
also have chilled trays where you can get like a nugget tray. It's good around the holidays, so you can get like a nugget tray chilled, and then we give you reheating instructions so that you can make it whenever you need to. So if you have an event on a Sunday, you can buy it on a Saturday, reheat it on Sunday, and have Chick-fil-A all the time.
There you go. Now, I saw your mom last night.
Yeah.
She said ask her about her golf game because she's a pretty...
Oh, no.
So apparently you and Willie and Sarah went out and played with Dad.
Yeah, we
Mom
did.
drove the golf cart. I said, well, how did my buddy Double R? We call her Double R now, Rachel Robinson. Double T and Double R. I said, how did Double R do? She said, she's got a better swing than Sarah. That's what your dad said.
Sarah gets the ball to go straight. I still swing like a softball player, so I usually slice everything right.
You don't know where it's going, but you can hit it. I got
I got to aim left to get it to go straight, but it works for me. So
it works. There you go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Am I leaving off any trays? Anything else in the morning besides the mini tray? Did I put down the strip? I did nugget strips, Cool Wraps, salad tray, mac and cheese, fruit tray. Oh, brownie tray.
yeah, we have brownie and cookie trays and cookie trays. So you can do a mix of the both of them or just a whole tray of each.
So what is that? 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 different trays you can order. 297-1266 is the number to call. And so tell me more about the sub tray. I'm learning that's a new one. I didn't know about that.
The sub tray, they're one of my favorite things to make. When we have sub rolls in the store, I always make one for break. But they're just like a multi-grain sub roll, and we put grilled prep chicken that's from the market salad with Colby Jack cheese and lettuce and tomato, and they're delicious. They're so good.
So 297-1266. All right, Saturday night, Tennessee's playing Kentucky. It's 7 o'clock kickoff. If I want a tray,
yep.
How long, out of courtesy to you all, how much time do you guys need?
You can call us whenever. Depends upon how large the tray is, but for a mac and cheese tray, we need a half an hour because that's how long it takes to cook, at least. And then for a small nugget tray, we can crank it out in 10 minutes.
There you go.
So.
Halloween, for any reason. Halloween, the holidays are coming up. We've got 60 days from today till Christmas. We got, 29 days till, is that right? 29 days till Thanksgiving? Yep, 29 days till Thanksgiving. So, the obvious, you guys sell a ton of gift cards.
Yes.
For the holidays. Tell me how that works. Pretty easy to get one, isn't it?
Yeah, if you do 3 or less, you can come through the drive-thru, or 3 or more, just pop inside and we'll tell us how much you want on each, and we'll swipe them and hand them right to you.
There you go.
It's not a difficult process.
Not at all. So now, if you're going to get more than 5, I think Tommy said come inside and do it.
Yeah, it holds up the drive-thru because we have to swipe each one, and then you pay for
Activate
it.
Yeah. So, all right, 3 ways to order. You know how I'm going to tell the 2 easiest, the drive-through, 2 lanes now, and here in the lobby. What's the 3rd way to do it?
Mobile order. Online ordering is huge for us. So you can mobile order off your phone, or if it's catering order, you can do it online. So.
Yep. 297-1266 is the number to call. The Autumn Spice Milkshake. You had it?
Yeah. Yes.
And?
It's delicious.
Yeah, it is good. Is that your fave?
It's definitely one of my, the favorite seasonal item we've had so far.
Yeah.
So that's been new.
Like it better than the peach?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm a fall girl, so I love it.
Peppermint chocolate chip?
It's a hard fought battle.
Yeah. Peppermint chip coming out, peppermint chocolate chip for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. I know you get back at it, but thank you. So you're okay. You're all right.
I'm okay.
You're all right. She's going to help me call a basketball game in Milligan, correct?
Oh, dear. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Double R, double T. You're going to get top billing. Double R, double T, Milligan basketball. One of her dad's games.
Yep.
Yeah. You okay with it?
Yeah.
Are you like Stephen Harden? Stephen said he grew up in the gym all his life with his dad. You've been in the gym.
Learned to walk in the gym.
Learned to walk in the gym.
Yeah.
So, do you play basketball?
I did when I was younger, and then when I got older, I chose volleyball.
Okay. So sister was a pretty good ball player, to say the least. Willie was a pretty good ball player. Now, when you get in the backyard and do a little one-on-one with your dad, do you school him? Can you beat your dad?
No.
You can't beat your dad?
No. My
Really?
dad's always been always been an athlete. I mean, maybe now that he tore his Achilles and had to recover and is still
slow down a little bit.
Yeah, still in PT for that. He's definitely slowed down a little bit, but growing up, no.
Couldn't beat him.
No.
Willie couldn't beat him either?
No.
Nobody can beat him.
He still beats us in golf with 1 foot. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
He's
All right.
just an athlete.
Yeah, he is. What about your mom? She a pretty good athlete?
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
What's her? I know she helps coach softball at the middle school. So
She won nationals in college for javelin. She used to throw.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And then she
really?
did basketball and track. So.
Really?
Yeah. So she's definitely an athlete.
She won the nationals?
Yeah.
Or she was in the nationals. She was a national javelin champion?
I think so. Something like that.
Can you follow up on that for me, please?
I will. I'll ask her.
Really?
I think Dad's watching, so maybe he'll correct me later. But I know that she was
Your mother
she was a heck of an athlete.
Oh, you
too.
should have never told me that. The
Oh, no.
the national javelin champion. Oh boy, that's good. And so, would you work on that for me, please?
I will.
Find it out.
I'll fact check for you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Of
Good
course.
job.
Good to see you.
Oh, he says, I'll stick her. I'll stick take her. What is that?
He'll still take me. Yeah, he will.
He'll still take you?
I mean, I don't know. He'll try. But
Yeah. He plays on 1 foot. I love it. It's good. Thank you, ma'am. That's good. She was a nervous wreck. She did a great job. Look, as I've said this all along, if I can do this, anybody can do this. It's not hard to do. Come in here and talk. It's not, So that's pretty cool. We get a chance to go do a Bobcat basketball game. What the heck? It'd be pretty cool. We're going to do a lot of Milligan basketball. I know that. Can't wait to do that. Milligan University, both guys and girls, or men and women's, I should say. All right, 297-1266. 12 different trays to consider anytime, especially going into the holidays. Mac and cheese. If you've not had the mac and cheese here, for me, it's a religious experience. I mean, it really is good. It's the best. In fact, I was at another restaurant the other day, and she said, "You going to get mac and cheese?" I said, "No. The mac and cheese, this place don't even touch the mac and cheese at Chick-fil-A. Not even close. It's a reputable restaurant that I'm not going to say, but it's a chain." And I said, no mac and cheese in this place. Chick-fil-A only for me, please. A fruit tray, as Rachel alluded to, double R, as we call it. A salad tray, a sub tray, a sub roll with grilled chicken on it, which is pretty cool. Chicken nugget tray, chicken strip tray, a cool wrap tray, a chicken mini tray for the mornings. Also a brownie tray or a cookie tray or a combination thereof, and also the chilled nugget tray. There's 12 different trays you can choose from to complete whatever you need to complete, whether it's a football game or a Thanksgiving get-together or Christmas get-together, whatever. Not everybody likes ham and turkey. And a lot of folks like chicken, and they sell a lot of trays at the holidays. So just planting that seed, if you will. 297-1266 is the number to call. 297-1266. And that's the number to call here. Michelle or Rachel or anybody will answer the phone and take your order, process, and get it rolling. So, and again, they didn't ask me to say this, but I'm going to say, have a little consideration. If you want to get something for the Tennessee-Kentucky game on Saturday, please don't call 6:30 and say, I need this, this, and this. Okay, they'll do it for you, but, be considerate. You would want that done to you, so don't do it to them. The old golden rule. Doing to others, you'd have them doing to you. So please consider that. They'll do anything they can to help you and make that happen, and they do, and they will. But again, national champ javelin. Oh, she should have never told me that. I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this. I'm gonna enjoy it profusely. So interesting. Barb Robinson, national javelin champ. Oh, it's gonna be good. We're gonna have a field day with that one. She's going to kill somebody. Why did you tell him I was the javelin national champ? So, anyway, good stuff. Quick break. We'll come right back and wrap it up right after this time out from Guess Who? Good folks here at Chick-fil-A on the Tom Daly Sports Show.
As soon as Mr. Steve walks in, it's like a ray of sunshine has entered our restaurant.
Sure is nice to hear.
For his 100th birthday, we wanted to do it as big as possible.
That was someday, I'll tell you.
Customers came in, brought gifts and cards.
When I walked in and they all clapped, that was quite a surprise to me.
It's a really warm feeling in your heart to know that your father's got other people looking out for him.
We decided to give him free Chick-fil-A for life.
One of my main reasons I want to live forever.
I think you got it in you.
Hello, my name is Mark Fowler, and it is my joy and honor to serve as the pastor of Pleasant Beach Baptist Church. And I'm thrilled to be a part of a church that has a great heritage and history of serving in the Elizabethan community. And we are encouraging people to understand they have a responsibility to know their Creator, to know God, and to understand His purpose for their life. And so we're thrilled to be a part of a church that has something for young people and for teenagers and for children and for families, to where they can discover what God wants for their life. We'd love to have you come be a part of us.
Back on the Tom Daly Sports Show, wrap it up, show number 1727. Big thanks to our guest today, Mark Newman, the cross-country coach of Elizabethton, taking these girls and guys to the state cross-country meet for the first time in, 17 years. It's awesome. Congratulations. He's also the Region 1 cross-country coach of the year. He was hit along by Bill Robinson, head basketball coach, Milligan University men's team, opening things up tomorrow night at University of the Cumberlands. And we're going to be streaming some of the games on their Facebook page, on their website. We're looking forward to that very much on some of their home games. And so he was along. Thanks. Sean Witten, head football coach of the Cyclones, getting ready for Seymour tomorrow night. Airtime at 7 o'clock, kickoff at 7:30 at the bank right over here. Can't wait to bring that one to you tomorrow night with Ryan Presnell and Cassie Fowler and Stephen Van de Sandy and the maestro Ronnie Brookshire coming in from Nashville to produce, along with Larry Adams, who was just here a few minutes ago, got something to eat, and his wife Brenda and Dr. Egan, who also runs the cameras. It's going to be a beautiful night tomorrow night for football. We'll hit it at 7 o'clock, so Coach Witten came by to talk about that. Also, Greg Sauer, who's still here in Major League Baseball. What'd you get, a Cool Wrap? Get a Cool Wrap? Got it, Cool Wrap. He's over here eating lunch. Appreciate him coming by. Stephen Harden, of course, the head basketball coach of Lees McRae, known as Dunk Mountain, and also his dad, Tony Pops Harden. Thank you for stopping by. And then we wrap things up with Rachel Robinson, better known as Double R. So there you go. Appreciate everybody. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. We'll wrap it up again, as we always do, with the verse of the day. We always dedicate this show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. And so here we go. Again, let's hit it for you one more time. It's worth it. So it is Psalms 33:21. For in him does our heart rejoice, because we have trusted, relied on, and been confident in his holy name. Good stuff. Psalms 33:21. Back tomorrow, ready to go. We'll be live tomorrow at the Jewelers Bench. Lucas Andrews is going to be with us tomorrow. Among other folks, the head basketball coach of the Elizabethton Lady Cyclones will join us tomorrow. Mike Hedrick, NASCAR fans reporter. Final week of the regular season, a race this weekend of the Paperclip in nearby Martinsville, Virginia is what they call that track. Big weekend of racing. Who's going to nail down those other three spots? Joey Logano's in for the championship weekend at Phoenix. He's one of the four guys racing for a championship. The other three will be determined this weekend in Martinsville. Mike will tell us all about that tomorrow. Also got, who else? Got other folks lined up ready to go, some more coaches. We got to nail down for tonight, by tonight, talk tomorrow about some high school football coaches. And, of course, we appreciate our college basketball coaches joining us today. We'll start doing high school basketball coverage as well. All right, out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. You know what Mama always told us, bloom where you plant it. We'll tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 1,727. They said it wouldn't work. We're on our way to number 2,000. It's a ways off. We're going to get there. And so thanks for watching 1727. Be sure and like and share it from here at Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth. And back tomorrow at 11 o'clock from the Jewelers Bench here in Elizabeth. Until then, as always, we'll tell you, as always, bloom where you're planted, win or lose, be a good sport. So